the Homeschooling Grammy, and today I'm coming at you because I had a request actually quite some time ago from someone. They really wanted me to go through the Explode the Code series, and I had told them that I had been using it actually for quite a long time. I started it back when we were doing pre-K with my granddaughter, and we're still using it, and she's in the middle of first grade. So I'm gonna wing it because that's what I always do. I have all my stuff here. I had to like dig through to get some of the old books that we finished, but I kind of give a quick overview of each of them. We have done the Get Ready for the Code A, B, and C, and we have done Explode the Code 1 and 1.5, and actually we're just about to finish 1.5, and she's going to be moving on to 2. So if this is something that you're interested in, stick around and we will get started. Okay, so I never know whether I should like point my camera at the product or I don't know. So we're going to try it this way, and if it gets on my nerves, then we're going to do it the other way. So I'm trying to think. And when she was 4, I think we started pre-K. And it was, pretty, easygoing, no rush. So anyways, we started with the Get Ready for the Code, a primer for the Explode the Code series. So there's 3 books. There's A, B, and C. So I'm going to show you like an A, just how easy it really started out. And it was perfect because, she was 4. So it's all written in because we finished these. So like, for instance, it started out with the first consonant. Let me move over. So it started out with letter F. So all she was doing, like on the very first lesson, so the letter F, she had to draw a line in between these 2 lines to the picture that started with an F. So very simple. So that's how it started out. Super, super easy. And we were in no big hurry. I still tend not to be in no big hurry because I want her to master. So I don't care how fast she's going. If she's mastering a concept, then that's what's important to me. So there's what you did in the beginning. So as you go to the back of the book, you will see. Well, you know what? I'll go kind of in the middle. So okay, so like by page 45, you're like up to letter K. They're writing the letter, tracing the letter. And then when you get to the end of A, book A, I will show you the very last. So here, for example, the last 2 pages on A, draw a line from each picture to the letter that begins its name. So already, just by the end of book A, you're going from, recognizing the letter to recognizing the picture that starts with that letter. And then here, say the name of the picture and then the sound of its first letter. So for instance, rainbow. So she had to know that rainbow started with an R, and then she wrote the R. Okay. So there's a really quick peek into A, and I will show you what happens in B. So we'll go on to B. So it starts slow. So it starts off, the first lesson in this one is color or mark the one that is different. So we just had her circle the one that was different, but she liked to also put X's on all the ones that were the same. I was fine with that. Whatever. Works for me. As long as you're getting it done, I don't care how you're doing it. So then again, get to the middle of the book. Here's the letter N. Going through in between the lines, matching the letter with the picture. Just some fine motor skills going on there. And then by the end of B, what she had to do, name the picture in each row, which sound do the words begin with, and then write the letter that stands for that sound. So she had to actually write the letter that stands for that sound. So here's, they would have the picture, and then she would write the letters. And then the page before that, which letter does the picture name begin with? So she had to name the picture, circle the letter sound that it begins with. So that was get ready for the code B. And then on to C. So we really, really, really have enjoyed this curriculum. She asks to do this. She can do this by herself now most of the time. Once in a while she'll have to ask me for help, but very rarely. You know, and then I check it, and if she did something wrong, whatever, she just goes back and corrects it. But and here is color or mark the one that is different. So, you know, we're recognizing same and different here. So they start with pictures, and then they work into letters. More fine motor skills on the next page, you know, following a dotted line from the letters to the first letter sound in the word or the picture. And then they're actually matching here. So they give them the letter, and then they need to go through and circle the letter that matches the letter in the box. So these are just some examples in the very beginning of C. And I'll kind of skip here to the middle. And it's just basically going to, you know, your consonant sound. So then we're up to letter G here. So the same thing, except for this one it says, say the sound of each letter, then color the picture whose name begins with that sound. So same thing. Still, she's getting better. She likes to color more now, but then she really did not like to color. So I was like, no big deal. You can circle. I don't care. So here you get handwriting practice at the same time. So here you're tracing the letter G. You're writing your own letter G. And then at the bottom, put an X on each picture that begins with the letter G, and then also write the letter underneath that picture. So not only are you putting an X on the picture, but then you're also writing the letter G underneath the picture. Okay, so let's get to the very end. And I'm sorry if I feel like I'm going a little fast, because it's kind of a lot to cover, and I didn't want my video to be too terribly long and to bore you to tears. So I'll go ahead and skip to the end of this one. And here's a review page. So reviewing letters A, B, and C, which letter does the picture's name begin with? Circle it. So we're going through, and this is a review. And there are reviews, you know, throughout. So that way, you know, kind of like a spiral type approach. So they'll kind of go back and review some stuff and then give you some new stuff. All right, so let's move on. So that was like, we did A, B, and C through pre-K, kindergarten. I'm trying to think when we started 1. I don't think we even started this one until, if we started it, it was like the last couple weeks of kindergarten. But I don't think we did. I think we may have not even started this one until 1st grade, because like I said, we just moved at her pace. It was not a big deal. Kindergarten in our state is not a requirement as far as homeschoolers are concerned, so you don't have to turn anything in. And yeah. Okay, so we're going to start with 1. So it actually gives you a pre-test in the beginning of the book. I didn't bother to do the pre-test because we'd already been through A, B, and C. I didn't see the need to start with the pre-test, so I skipped it. So anyways, lesson 1. A says "at" as an apple. Find the picture that begins with the sound of the letter below and put an X. So all short letter A. And then all she's doing is recognizing the pictures whose sounds start with the short letter vowel sound A. So that's how simple it starts in the beginning. So, okay, so here you go. So we're about halfway through, and this is lesson 5. Find the picture that begins with the sound of each letter below and then put an X on it, except this time it's a review lesson. So not only are we doing A, but we're also doing I. Take a look. And there again, I always just have her put an X. And like I said, just recently. But here's another example how they'll mix it up a little bit. So like on this page, you're actually learning how to spell the word. So on top of learning the sounds of the letters, you're actually learning how to spell. So like here, you see the word, you see the picture pan, and then they go ahead and they circle all the letters in the word that spells pan, and then they write the word pan. Same way with like fin and bag. And I can't read with this in front of you, so whatever the next picture is. So they work spelling into it and writing into it. And this curriculum has helped her so much. We really struggled with reading. She has made huge strides in the last few months. We're actually getting really close to finishing her All About Reading curriculum, but you know, it was rough going for her. It was not easy for her for a long time, and I truly believe that this helped immensely. I have found that this really coincided a lot with All About Reading. A lot of the same words would be in here that we were learning in All About Reading, and so it really helped to kind of hammer in you know, skills that she wasn't quite understanding. So once you get to the end, she's actually reading sentences. So you get to the end of Explode the Code 1, there are sentences for her to read. So what she would do, she'd have to read the sentence and see if it matched the illustration. So it is a big lock. Dot has a red sock. So she'd have to read both of those sentences and then decide which sentence fit the picture and put an X in the box next to the sentence. So you see, like, some great skills by the end of even book 1. So like I said, we are now, next week actually, she will be finishing book 1.5. Now, most people would go on to book 2, but like I had told you, she was really struggling with reading, so I really wanted her to have more practice, and I wanted to make it fun for her, and I wanted it to build her confidence. And that's exactly what this curriculum does for her, is it builds confidence, because she can do it by herself. Sometimes she might need help, like she might not get a word, because sometimes it might be a sight word or something, but you know, she's just so proud of herself that she can do this by herself. All right, so I'm going to show you how it started off in 1.5 on lesson 1. So it's read, copy, and put an X. So she reads the word, she copies the word, and then she has to find the word in the picture. And that's how it started in book 1.5. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so this exercise has helped her immensely. When we first started doing it, she would get really frustrated because it really forced her to read. More so than that last lesson that I showed you, where, you know, she had to read a sentence, or sometimes read both of the sentence and then choose the picture. Sometimes she'd only have to read one sentence because, you know, oh, that's the answer, so I don't have to read the other sentence. So she kind of got out of it. But when this lesson started up, then she was like, she wasn't liking it very much at first, but now she likes it now. She's fine with it. But so what you have to do, you have to match and write it. So here's the picture. So they give you a picture, and some of these pictures sometimes, like, you seriously have to be a rocket scientist. I'm like, what in the world is that picture? Because I didn't buy the teacher's manuals. I'm like, I'm not buying a teacher's manual for, like, no, I'm not doing it. I'll figure it out. So anyways, there's your picture. You have a word bank up here at the top. And then she has to read the sentence and fill in the word from the word bank that fits in the sentence. And that's been awesome for her. I'm really proud of her because, you know, at the beginning it was an issue. And now she can pretty much do those by herself. Let me give you an idea where we are at, because we, like I said, are almost done. So I'm going to give you an idea of how much harder it got. So sort the words and then write a sentence. So it went from, you know, having a word box and only having to fill in one word to the sentence to make your sentence complete. And then it goes into, you have to actually create your sentence out of the words that they give you at the top. So here's an example. They give you a picture of a box, and then you have a word bank, and then you just have a blank line for them to write their sentence. So, you know, this is where I would be like, okay, Hope, so what is the first rule of a sentence? What starts a sentence no matter what? So she has to know a capital letter starts a sentence. So that would be her first clue from her word box. She would go up here and say, oh, well, that's a capital letter. So that's the beginning of my sentence. And then I would say to her, okay, so what is the rule for the end of the sentence? What do you need on the end of a sentence? You need what? Punctuation. What do you need? Sometimes a period, sometimes a question mark, but you're always going to need punctuation. So by just that kind of decoding, she is able to figure out her own sentence, and she's like starting to do really well with this. I'm impressed. So let me take a look. So anyways, you know, lots of spelling. So you have words that you go through. Like I'll show you like a for instance. So it'll start out with words. Picture, you have to circle the word that matches. So then the next lesson will be, okay, here's your picture. Here are the letters in your word, and then you spell your word. So you circle, then you spell. And then when it comes, once you've practiced and once you've gone through it several times, then you will actually have the pictures here, and then you will go ahead and write your words. So you're getting spelling. So she's getting spelling with this, and she's getting spelling with her spelling you see, and a lot of them are crossing over. So it makes it great because it's kind of, you know, reinforcing everything that we're doing. And then it also will do exercises where they give you a word here, and then you have to put an X over the word that matches. And I've found with her that sometimes, even though, I mean, she knows the word, like she'll read it to me, but because she's in a hurry and she wants to get done, that's what she's thinking about. I gotta get this done. So she'll like X the wrong one, and I'll look at her and be like, you sure about that? And she'll start laughing, be like, oops. Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, read, X. So that's 1.5. We're going to finish this book next week. Kind of excited about that. She's going to move on to level 2. And I already have level 2. Actually, I have all the way to level 4. And I was trying to think why I have all of them up to level 4 at this point. And I think I found them on a used curriculum site that somebody had purchased them and didn't use them, and so I got them for super cheap. That's why I bought them. I know that's why I bought them, because I got them super cheap. I wouldn't have bought that many at one time if I didn't. But I'll give you an idea. Apparently, I don't have the teacher's manual. Apparently, I'm going to start out with blends. Looks like for lesson 1, the blends for clown. And you got to circle the blends. But yeah, so anyways, that's what we've been using. And we, like I said before, really, really love Explode the Code. I hope that this answers your question, or any of the questions that you might have. If you still have more questions, I will be happy to answer them. I would be happy to do, I mean, if you want a more in-depth look, I know I kind of like went really fast, and I still took like 18 minutes like to try to flip through as quickly as I did. All right, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope this really helped you out and let you get a really good idea of the Explode the Code series and why we love it so much and why it really works so well for us in our homeschool. It's a huge confidence builder. It's a huge skill builder. It's just wonderful, and I think it would probably go with just about any reading program. So anyways, thanks so much for stopping by. Please make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel before. And I will even leave links in my description box to this program, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, and by the way, I'm not affiliated or anything with Explode the Code. I just did this because someone asked. Talk to you soon.